Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report, a show all about UNC Pembroke athletics, presented by Pepsi. I'm Jenna Davison, and today on the show we're going to be talking football with head coach Shane Richardson, and on the second half of the show we're going to be talking with men's soccer head coach Phil Heinsohn. But first, we're joined by Coach Richardson. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, let's start this show like we do every week by talking about last week's game. The Braves welcomed 5th-ranked North Alabama to Grace P. Johnson Stadium, and despite flexing their muscles for 3 quarters, came away with a 27-6 loss. What were your thoughts on the game, particularly after being within a touchdown after 3 quarters of play with one of the top teams in the country?
Yeah, I think our team did a fantastic job last week, and really the 2 weeks working up to Saturday of just preparing and really understanding the mentality and the mindset that it takes to go into a game like that versus an opponent that, you know, in the rankings and in the polls and according to record, you know, is a very significant, opponent that we're going to play against. And so our guys didn't back down. They approached it the right way, and I was extremely proud of just the way that they went in and they fought and they battled. Of course, you know, you'd like the score to be a little different at the end of the game and things to be different there, but for 3 quarters, you're exactly right. I thought we really did what we, could have and should have done to put ourselves in a position to, get a chance to win the game. But at the 4th quarter, another learning lesson came into play of, you really got to focus and have all 11 guys on the field at any given time to be clicking together. And it's just another great learning lesson, and it's also a great confidence builder as well.
Right. Well, coaches do not like to hear the term moral victory, but what kind of confidence does a performance like this give your team as we head into the second half of the season?
It really does. I think it raises the bar for what we're capable of in the sense of how we prepare and how we approach things. If that's number 5 in the country, I don't know that the other teams on the schedule are ranked at this point, and so we should be able to take that same approach, that same mentality, that same mindset of going into each and every game from here on out, knowing that we're capable of coming out and really competing at our best and being hungry and wanting to perform at a very, very high level. And so I anticipate that's how we will approach every week and every game from here on out, and I think our guys understand what that looks like now, and we can move forward in that aspect.
Well, through the first 3 quarters, your defense made the nation's 13th ranked rushing offense look average. How much did stopping the run play into your game week preparations, and what grade would you give Code Black defense coming out of the game?
Well, North Alabama, they were, I think, averaging close to 265 yards a game rushing coming in to Saturday. And so we continued to talk about that defensively. And we put in somewhat of a new defensive scheme to try to help that, and we really worked it and practiced it, and our guys really did a great job of executing that. And at times we were getting 9 guys in the box and really trying to match every single gap and hole that was open in there, and to make sure that we had a lot of black jerseys to the ball. And that, that sometimes can come back to bite you, and it did a couple times there late in the 4th quarter, and that's why they were able to get a couple play actions on us. But in general, I think our guys did a fantastic job of just stopping the run and really rallying to the ball. And Code Black really, I think, came to play on Saturday. And aside from the 4th quarter there, I think they were at one of their best performances that I've seen in a long time. And so if not an A, of course you like it to be perfect. You like there to be, close to 0 points on the board, but it's certainly, very commendable of what they did from an effort and attitude standpoint.
Well, let's break down the game a little bit. An early interception by North Alabama defense sets up them for a field goal. But the Lions end up taking a 7-0 lead after an advantage of a costly personal foul penalty on a field goal try. Can you talk about that quick series of events you saw when the team went down early?
Yeah, before the game and even the day before, I had been talking to Reggie, our quarterback, and I told him, I said, Reggie, you should expect to have 10 bad plays right in a row. It's your first time out there. Hey, don't expect anything to go right. Just to try to get in his head and prepare him for the worst. He said, oh, no, Coach, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I said, well, you know what? If it does, you're going to bounce back, and 60 of them are going to be great. And so, you know, I really tried to, I kind of joked around with him about that, but I told him, you know, we're going to be resilient, and no matter what goes wrong early on, you're gonna bounce back and make sure that everything gets corrected and you learn from it and you just catch up to game speed as quickly as possible. And, you know, sure enough, he threw the interception. Well, defense really did a great job of coming out. I think they got the ball on the 21-yard line right there, and our backs were against the wall, and we actually had them. We had them to a field goal, which is considered a win in the defensive mindset of things. As long as we don't give up touchdowns, you know, we're good. But then, of course, you know, you've got to have complete focus, and you know, the penalty on the field goal try really did hurt, and then they scored 2 plays later. But with that, we had been preaching all week, hey, you know, we're going to overcome adversity. We're going to stay together no matter what happens, how many things go bad, whatever play takes place. We're going to just keep bouncing back. We're going to keep doing what we're supposed to do, and, you know, keep competing and keep coming after them. And I think we did that.
Right. Well, we're going to take our first commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking about the game that happened on Saturday. So stay tuned.